versus film.
Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be a top 10 of movies streaming right now on Netflix UK for the month of May 2016. Number 10, Predator. A team of commandos on a mission in the jungle find themselves hunted by an extraterrestrial. Arnold Schwarzenegger is in full-on 80s action mode, and he's directed by John McTiernan, the man who would later go on to direct Die Hard, one of the best action movies of all time. This movie is pure entertainment. Arnold creates another catchphrase as well as being super awesome, as he always was in the 80s.
Go! Get to the chopper!
Number 9 is Escape from LA. Snake Plissken is coerced by the US government to recover a potentially deadly doomsday device from LA. An LA that has been separated from the main part of the US by a giant earthquake. This abandoned island is now home to the worst elements of humanity, where all the murderers, criminals and just general downright badass people are put. 15 years after the original Escape from New York, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell returned to pretty much do a remake of Escape from New York. There's a few new things added, but beat for beat, this is generally just like the original. So if you like that, you're probably going to like this, with the exception of some of the most dodgy CGI I have seen in a long time. Number 8 is Let Me In. A bullied young boy befriends a female vampire who lives in an apartment with her secret guardian. Matt Reeves, the man behind Cloverfield and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, decided to remake Let the Right One In, a movie that was generally regarded as almost perfect and one of the best horrors of recent years. Now, Reeves chose to change a couple of things about, and it's pretty much an extremely similar story with the fact of these small changes, but I feel like the better the movie. Number 7 is The Return of the Living Dead. When two bumbling employees accidentally release a deadly cloud of gas, it causes the dead to rise from their graves and hunt after their favourite food, brains. Long before Shaun of the Dead set the benchmark for horror comedies, there was Return of the Living Dead, directed by Dan O'Bannon, one of the men behind Alien. And this was a perfect example of horror comedy, not comedy horror. Horror is definitely the most element. It's a gory kind of sense that's going on here, and definitely some tongue-in-cheek humour. This is a fun movie, it stands the test of time, and if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Number 6 is The Gift. A married couple's lives is sent into free fall with the arrival of an old friend of the husband's who brings with him some strange gifts and a horrible secret from the past. Directed and starring Joel Edgerton, The Gift is a neat little adult thriller, the kind of movie that you don't see too much these days. It's a small contained story that's full of tension, full of intrigue, and you're never quite sure of where it's actually going. You're definitely best watching this movie if you know as little about it as possible. It's 90 minutes, it's interesting, it's entertaining, and it'll leave you with a question that you just don't know if you want to know the answer. Number 5 on my list is Moneyball. A baseball team's general manager attempts to assemble a team by using a computer algorithm to acquire new players. It's a movie about baseball statistics starring Brad Pitt. It doesn't sound like the most interesting of movie. This thing is completely captivating and absolutely worth your time. It's a great watch, full of fantastic performances, sparkling dialogue. It's just the full package. It shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is a movie that just draws you in, and I've seen it a few times, and every time I just go right into that story and forget about everything else that's going on. Number 4 on my list is Rear Window. A wheelchair-bound photographer spies on his neighbours from his apartment window, but he suspects that one of them has committed a murder. Alfred Hitchcock is regarded as the master of suspense. He's got quite a few movies that people say are some of the best ever made. I think that Rear Window is my favourite Hitchcock movie. It's just something that plays really well to me, and I love the fact of its beautiful cinematography. It's got a relationship drama kind of going along with this murder mystery suspense scene. The movie's full of tension, it's full of interesting plot lines, and it's just one wholeheartedly entertaining watch. Number 3 on my list is The Grand Budapest Hotel. The story of Gustav, a hotel concierge who gets mixed up in a theft of a priceless painting. This movie is bolstered by a towering performance by Ralph Fiennes. The man has had so many good performances in his career, but this has to be the best and the most enjoyable. It's full of hilarious moments and ridiculous scenarios. It's got a cast that most people would die to have in their movies. It moves at a blistering pace and just draws you into this completely compelling world. It is one of the best movies of the last 10 years. Number 2 on my list is Turbo Kid. In a post-apocalyptic world, a comic book fan dons the mantle of his favourite comic book hero to save his enthusiastic friend and fight a tyrannical overlord who's just looming over this post-apocalyptic world. I absolutely love Turbo Kid. I seen it a couple of months ago. I did a review on it. I thought it was one of the best grindhouse-esque, gory 90s throwback movies that I had ever seen, and I highly suggest watching this. It's got ridiculous set pieces, it's got over the top, totally ludicrous gore, and it has Michael Ironside as the bad guy who is totally chewing the scenery and just tearing up everything in front of him with his megalomaniacal performance. It is fantastic. Number 1 on my list is Hush, a deaf novelist who has moved into the countryside and living amongst the woods in this sort of glass log cabin type thing is tormented by a masked killer. Hush appeared on Netflix out of nowhere. I hadn't really seen anything about it or heard anything about it. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, the man who brought us Oculus a few years by, which was another fantastic horror movie. This movie is extremely sparse in dialogue. There's hardly any in it at all, but it's full of tension and it's set in a visual way. The building that the lady is in is glass, mostly glass, and it's shot in a way that there's always something moving in the background. You're always searching to see where this masked killer is, and the masked killer is excellent as well. It's basically just these two people for the bulk of the movie, and it's a really short run time. It relies on a few tropes, it makes a couple more. It relies on a few tropes of the horror genre, but at 80 minutes on Netflix, you have to check this thing out. It is brilliant. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you next month for another top 10 of films that you can watch on Netflix. So thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you notice on screen, there is 2 more videos that you can click and watch at your leisure. There is also a large subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, I will forever be in your debt. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Man vs. Film.